doesn't mean there's still not work to do. With more understanding, more cooperation, more teamwork, we will be stronger as a community. Sabetha has weathered storms in the past. We will grow and build together. Alliances with old partners will be renewed. New partnerships will be formed. The future for healthcare in Sabetha is bright. Committed to care. It's what we do. It's who we are.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Hopefully, kind of, yeah, just a tiny bit. Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. Certainly appreciate the turnout today. It's with immense pleasure and pride that I stand before you today and extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to each and every one of you on this momentous occasion for us here. We gather here in the midst of a vibrant spirit of community to present a project of significant importance, a generational project, no less, the expansion and renovation of Sabetha Community Hospital. As the time approached for our team to provide information to the public, we realized that September 11th could be a time for us to also pay respects to some of our local first responders and to honor the fallen from that fateful day 22 years ago. Please join me in a moment of silence and remembrance of those who gave all. Thank you. We've invited leaders from our police, fire, and EMS to let you know about their departments. So much of the time, they work anonymously, never for public accolades. They run towards disasters. We owe a debt of gratitude to them and others in our county as well, including the Sheriff's Department, Emergency Preparedness, Highway Patrol, and more also serve. I'd sort of like to keep them in our thoughts and prayers. Before we delve into the details of our ambitious undertaking, let us take a moment to reflect on the significance of the initiative. Our community has always been a place of resilience and determination. These characteristics bring us together today to discuss a project that will redefine the future of healthcare in our community. The journey towards the realization of this project began many years ago. In the 1990s, Rita Berman and the board of directors embarked on a plan to modernize the facilities in Sabetha. What we currently call our 2003 building was designated as phase one of those plans, knowing that at the right time, phases 2, 3, and 4 would consolidate the healthcare campus and replace the oldest portions of the remaining facilities. As 20 years went by, it was apparent that the original designs for the remaining phases no longer fit the current needs or the projected scope and the capabilities of the foreseeable future. This led to the current design that you will see later today that includes an addition and renovations of the 2003 building. We believe this much better fits the way medicine will be practiced in our lifetimes. Let us remember that this endeavor is not solely about construction or architecture. It's about the people who work tirelessly within its walls to save lives, provide care, and offer solace to those in need. It's about the individuals who will find comfort and hope in times of distress. Once again, I extend my warmest welcome to our guests and professionals who are present today. Thank you. Let us move forward together for a healthier, brighter future for Sabetha and the surrounding communities we serve. Thank you. Thank you. We'll be inspired today and encouraged by our friends and neighbors, city leaders today. As you've seen on your agenda, we have several of the first responders organizations represented here today to tell us about their organizations. First on the list, Robert Wabasek from the Sabetha Police Department, the Chief of Police. Robert, if you'd be so kind.
All right, am I gonna need read this, or can you guys hear me?
Okay. Try to figure this thing out here first. I'm here representing two different departments. Not only the police department, but I'm here representing the communications department, our dispatchers. My name is Robert Wawasik. I have served and appointed as police chief for the city of Sabetha for the last 14 years. We have 4 full-time patrolmen, 2 part-time, 4 full-time communications operators, as well as 2 part-time communications operators. We run 3 patrol vehicles. We still provide a 24-hour service for the citizens of Sabetha. We do enjoy a great working relationship with Brown County Sheriffs, along with Nemaha County Sheriffs. I tried looking into a little bit of our department, and Sabetha I found was incorporated in 1874, and I could not pinpoint when the police department came into existence. But I did find in some city minutes that in the 1920s, there were marshals appointed. Wasn't real sure what to talk about when I came here today, and I was looking at the brochure and what Doc here had spoke about, and building a healthy future for Sabetha. So doing our part in building a healthy future for Sabetha, in 2021, my department filed 264 cases. That number was down in 2022 to 216 cases. As of today in 2023, we sit at 180 cases. And I feel working together as a community, we can get those numbers down even further. Building a healthy future. Part of our department's mission statement is creating a safe environment for the prosperity of our citizens. And my department strives to build relationships with members of the public, gaining their trust and working together. The safer we can make Sabetha, the healthier our future will be. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Robert. I really appreciate it. Next is Doug Brammer, Director of Sabetha EMS.
Thank you. Sabetha EMS, in its current form, began in 1998 when the city purchased the ambulance service from Dave Emmert. The history of our service goes back many years before that. In fact, we have an ad on our bulletin board over here at our station from the July 1959 phone book, which advertises for the podcast mortuary and ambulance service.
Conflict of interest there.
It does sound like that, Doc. Some more recent developments. In 2015, we moved into our brand new station across the road over here. It has a large training and meeting room, along with living quarters. In 2019, we added our first full-time position, a paramedic, and we started our advanced life support service. We currently operate 3 ambulances with 27 staff. 26 of those are volunteer. We have 1 full-time paramedic. We have 1 volunteer paramedic, 9 advanced EMTs, 15 EMTs, and 1 emergency medical responder. In 2022, we responded to a record 439 calls for service. And so far this year, we've responded to 256 calls for service. All of this would not be possible without our great volunteers and the generous support of our city and county officials. And I also want to say a special thank you to our local business leaders for allowing their employees to respond as EMTs and leave their jobs. So thank you very much for those of you that are here. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. Appreciate it. Next is Jim Johnson. And do you have any special announcements to make today or anything?
I have one,
Okay.
but I've been threatened to be thrown in jail if I do make announcements, so I better leave it well enough alone. Okay, Darren. I got you, Darren. Again, I'm here representing the fire department. We're down the hill down there. I'm going to try to cover 143 years real quick like. Our fire department started in 1880 with a bucket brigade. And so we're going to jump ahead now a little bit to 75 when I happened to get on, and we had 3 trucks down there, which one was a country pumper, city pumper, and one small tanker. Our rescue rig then was a Corvair van that had a pry bar and a little porta power in the back thing. As Robert said, our community is great. So through donations and campaigns and stuff, in April of '91, we were able to get our first Jaws of Life that we carried here in town, which was a power pack, hoses, and the tools to carry it all around. So now we have a rescue rig. We have 7 trucks down there, 3 pumpers, 2 tankers, and we work well with EMS. We do their life. We will set up a landing zone out in the country if we have to. We will make access to cars for them if we have to. And I have 26 volunteers, like Doug says, that leave their jobs anytime, day and night. They will leave their job, 26 volunteers. We average about 40 to 50 calls a year. With the highway out here, we do see a lot of car wrecks and everything like that. Just recently, over the years, we also, through community pancake feeds and stuff, we used to have to go around and find a boat in the backyard of some fisherman, whether it's Jay Barber or Stan Rimmers or whoever it might be, to find a boat to go out and do it. We do have a boat, probably the only one in the county, ready to roll out of the barn down there now, a regular rescue boat with dry suits, thanks to the community and donations and stuff like that. We have an ATV that can go out into the field and has gone out in the field to help EMS do whatever they have to do. So the community is great. And as I said, we have 26 volunteers that answer the call whenever they need to be. Recently, in the last year, we took our older Jaws, and we have now battery operated. One guy can run the Jaws of Life or the O-Cutter and stuff like that to assist EMS and stuff. With that said, if there's anybody in the crowd that wants to make a convertible out of your car, just call 911 and we'll be there. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Really appreciate it. Next, on behalf of the city, we have Cody Bletcher, Sabetha City Mayor.
First off, I want to thank Jim and Doug both. I had down that we had a little over 50 volunteers between the two of the organizations. It says a lot about your guys' leadership and the fact that in a small town we can have that many volunteers that work under you guys. Thank you both. Sabetha is very fortunate to have a strong volunteer EMS and fire team. On behalf of the city of Sabetha, I want to thank first responders for their dedication and service to the community. The great Winston Churchill once said, "We shape our dwellings, and afterwards our dwellings shape us." Nowhere is this more true than in the communities we create. The Sabetha Hospital is an important pillar of our community. It is one of the largest employers, provides great care to our many nursing homes and AC Village, and as well as the 2,500 residents of Sabetha. Having a strong and evolving hospital allows our community to grow and thrive. Expanding its capabilities in an ever-changing world will set this community up for years to come. Thank you to Dr. Longaball and Garrett and their teams for setting this all up and pushing this project forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cody. Appreciate it. Very good. Next, on behalf of the Sabetha Community Hospital Board of Directors, Norm Schmidt.
Well, I've been on this board for a long time, and I thought I was going to be the oldest, but thankfully we put in Bill and Greg. So now I feel a lot younger today. Anyway, we have a really good board. I see that we have a lot of members out here. With board members that are here, raise your hand. Well, I'll start out with great sorrow, we remember and honor all those who lost their lives on September 11th, 2001. The World Trade Center symbolized globalization and economic power of America. Our enemies' goals were to create panic, fear, and anxiety, ultimately destroying what we stand for. However, they watched as America's initial response to the attacks were swift and generous. Aside from our military response, the healthcare community, joined by firefighters, the police, rescue groups, and the outpouring of volunteers from all sections of our country and beyond. So with that all in mind and with those losses, let's give a round of applause to our first responders here. So on the flip side, today we're here with great joy. We gather to celebrate the building of a healthy future for our community. This is a great time for the Sabetha healthcare community, for our patients, our staff, our neighbors, and our entire community. Speaking for the Sabetha Governing Hospital Board, we celebrate more than the opportunity to improve and expand our facilities, but also to pay tribute to the internal team of caregivers and the various design build professionals that have created an expansion project that will transform the Sabetha Community Hospital system, a healthcare system that takes us into another level with the tools that they also need, and local care and commitment to the people, and that in its 118 years has never forgotten its mission of caring for everyone. This new expansion and our team honor our community and our neighborhoods, and this reachable opportunity welcomes all who seek care and compassion. So thanks for being here and your support. Greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, Norm. That's very nice. I appreciate it. Next, on behalf of the Sabetha Community Health Foundation is Kathy Simpson.
Thank you. Today, I am representing the Sabetha Community Healthcare Foundation. I serve on that board along with Steve Knopak, who is our president, with Bart White, John Lehman, Gordon Olson, Jolene Wiltz, and Greg Mock. The foundation was put into place years ago to be a vehicle for tax-deductible donations, and through the years, his community has given generously through different memorials and charitable giving. As the board, our job is to manage these gifts, invest them well for our future. Your giving has also enabled us and aided us in purchasing items to keep our healthcare strong here and looking ahead to services that we can provide. In the last several years, we have been able to assist in upgrading items in the radiology department, purchasing a 3T mammography machine, also a bone density machine, a surgical table, physical therapy table, fetal heart monitor, and some other items. Over $700,000 has been given to upgrades in the past 3 years. So on behalf of the Sabetha Community Healthcare Foundation, I want to thank you for your gifts, which encourage our leadership. It encourages our great team of physicians and surgeons, the healthcare workers, all the staff at our different facilities, to keep striving to be the best that we can and providing exceptional care in this community. And as we look to the future, continuing to make Sabetha Community Hospital a destination for quality health care. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. I really appreciate it. Next, on behalf of the Sabetha Community Hospital Guild, Jerry Lauer.
Good afternoon. It gives me great pleasure to speak on behalf of the Sabetha Community Hospital Guild. The Guild has been around for a long time. It was formed in 1977. It consists of a diverse group of individuals from the local community who volunteer for the benefit of the hospital. They participate in activities throughout the year, including fundraisers such as holiday bake sale before Easter and Christmas, a basket raffle at Old Time Saturday night, and the collection of best choice labels. That's what we girls like to do. Perhaps the most noticeable activity is when the Guild hosts the Bloodmobile when it comes to town several times a year. The monies raised by the Guild support the hospital through equipment purchases, educational scholarships, and more. So far in 2023, we have donated $2,500 toward the purchase of a newborn hearing screening machine and have pledged toward the purchase of an EKG machine for the outpatient clinic and a backup generator for the surgery department. Meetings are held on the third Mondays of every month at noon in the EMS building across the street. Each meeting begins with a short educational program followed by a business meeting. A light meal is provided by the hospital for all attendees. Currently, we have 35 members. Annual dues are a big $10. These meetings are a wonderful way to be updated on hospital happenings. The Guild has seen a lot of changes in its 46 years. Our exceptionally good medical community has always been an asset. And now, as we enter into a new phase, our healthcare system is growing even stronger. It's an exciting time to be a part of such a bright future, and the best is yet to come.
Thank you, Terry. As you would expect, no project can move forward without money, without financing in some form or fashion. As you may know, we have applied for a USDA loan for our proposed expansion and renovation. And as part of that USDA loan, they want local skin in the game. Sabetha has never been short on providing the local skin in the game, as witnessed by the Wellness Center that we so graciously sit next to, and many other projects in the community. So to talk more about the campaign portion of that local involvement, Vern Hendricks from the Greater Manhattan Community Foundation.
Thank you, Doc. Well, it's always encouraging when the fundraiser gets an applause up here, so that's it's a good sign to start with. So, yeah, just to recap a little bit about the efforts, and my first association with this community was the Wellness Center. Leslie got me involved in that a long time ago on the board, and it was very, very good. You have an amazing community here, one that I've become very fond of in the process over the years. The establishment of the Greater Sabetha Community Foundation, I think, has been a great element in this community and many others, and we're very proud to be a part of the process. And so the team that's working on this campaign is Leslie Scobie here from, raise your hand. I know people know you, so I'm not going to make you stand up. And Mitzi Richards is with me here from Manhattan in the process. And, we're here from Manhattan to kind of help out sometimes in smaller communities. And I say you as a smaller community, but I grew up on a farm where I was 5 kids in my 8th graduating class, so I know what small is. Sometimes it's hard to talk about money with your friends and neighbors, and so it's nice to have some other individuals that you can maybe have a confidential conversation with, and that's what we've been trying to provide in this process. And so we started this late April. Have been coming up here a couple times a month, and been able to have some great visits with individuals. We got a lot to go yet. We got individuals in this community that have been involved in the hospital in many ways, and so we want to give everybody an opportunity to be a part of this. First and foremost, I really want to give attention and certainly an applause to the employees of the hospital. To date, the employees of the hospital here have pledged and committed almost $160,000 for this effort. So please give them an applause in this process to start with. I do want to throw a shout out to Jennifer and Tiffany. Where are they at in the process? They're helping out this process. The way it kind of works is, they've been helping us schedule visits so that we can come up here and maximize our days as much as possible. So now I did come up here and play golf yesterday, so I didn't do any fundraising other than for myself. So
but it's great to meet people in this process. So where we are now is we really want to try to get as much commitments as possible before the end of the year and into the first quarter of the year. That will help save as much construction loan process as we can. And so we're trying to visit with individuals. We know some people haven't made commitments yet, but if you can be thinking about that, if you're in that process, one of those that are going to get visited, if you don't get visited and want to be visited, please reach out to us. But be thinking of the process. We are taking 5-year pledges in this campaign, so that you have 5 years to pay it out. But that just helps the doc, as he mentioned, the loan in this whole process. I do want to announce that the very first gift, lead gift to this campaign was Levon and Irma Winger. And they've had a long-standing relationship with Levon being on the board here, and they made the initial gift of $1 million to start this campaign. So please give them an applause. I just talked to Levon about a few minutes before we started here today to recognize him and make sure I could announce his name one more time, but was very pleased. He said, yeah, if it'll do some good, throw my name out there. And obviously he's been a part of this hospital for a long time, and a good friend of mine, and I appreciate that. So to date, the number that we have to announce is just over $3 million, $3,001,800 to this point. So give yourself an applause for that. So now I know we've got more than that because I've got more yeses than that, but those are the numbers that I can confirm at this point in time. So our charge is to raise $8 million in this process and to try to move forward. We feel really good about where we're at right now after 4 months in this. And like I said, we're going to be trying to work on this through the end of the year and get as much taken care of. But we're really proud and pleased to be able here with you. If anybody has any questions, feel free to catch us afterwards. Mitz and I will certainly be here. I know Leslie's got a meeting to go to after this. But we appreciate your confidence and commitment to this foundation and the community and the hospital here at this point in time, and love seeing what you're doing. So, Doc, thank you for all your hard work. These things don't happen without you producing and taking care of this community here. And hospitals are an important part of every community to keep communities alive. And we appreciate what you guys are doing. So, God bless you all. So.
Thank you, Vern. I appreciate it. And no event comes together with one person. It certainly took a village to help get things moving forward today. I'd certainly like to thank Tiffany and Jennifer and Garrett Colglazer, our planning committee, for this. Obviously, other people were involved as well. No, thank you. Give them a round of applause. But without their involvement, nothing like this comes together. I really appreciate their help. And a lot of other employees as well that hopefully you guys will get to meet as the evening goes by. Without further ado, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce the plans for the facility. I know we've talked a little bit about it in public forums before, including City Commission, but as the year has gone by, we're able to solidify what our hopes and goals and dreams are for the expansion and renovation. So I want to run through that. I won't go through all the steel fasteners and how much square foot of concrete we're going to have, things like that, but just give you an overview. And as you know, long-standing history, Sabetha Hospital, 1904, 1910. In fact, this is the 1910 wing that we're standing next to. And the new addition, 1927, was added just down the road there. So after 1927, the only significant expansion or addition was the 2003 building that I had mentioned earlier. 1911, the building looks similar, but without the 27 addition. 1930s, the addition's been added. 1940s, still the involvement of the nuns. big happenings in the 1990s, there was an elevator added. So very exciting. The other elevator currently in the 1910 building, once was recently the oldest functioning elevator west of the Mississippi. And now it's not functioning anymore. We can't get parts for it, so it was. You can still ride on it though today. Somebody just has to turn the electricity on and off when you get up to the next floor. So there's still opportunities today to ride that. So you betcha. So a few familiar faces in this photo here from the elevator construction. And a few familiar faces on this photo as well from the early 2000 when the 2003 building was getting ready to be constructed. As you may, my suit size has changed just a little bit. I'm on the far left there. Many years healthcare has existed here. And once again, the organizations you've heard from earlier today allow us to function with state-of-the-art equipment. Our building may be old. We utilize every square foot of it that we can, but the equipment that we have within our facility is second to none. When I go to conferences and we talk about how other small hospitals do things, I'm always bragging about the equipment we have, and that's once again due to the generosity of the community you've heard about earlier today. Yeah, thank you so much. The Guild, the foundation, amazing group of individuals. And this was before the drought. Old physical therapy room. Hopefully that will be much different in about 3 years. A good friend of mine once said, if you're good, you should tell people that you're good. Is that right, Bill? Is that what you said? Yeah. Bill said, if you're good, tell people you're good. People in our community may not know how good we are. They know we've been here forever, and we provide, hopefully, good service. But Sabetha Community Hospital has been nationally recognized for many years and continues to be nationally recognized. There are 1,350 critical access hospitals in the United States. These are top 100 and some top 20 awards in the United States. Kansas has 84 critical access hospitals itself, but we've been in the top 20 several times of the 1,350 in the United States. It's pretty good. Nemaha County is third this year in the county health statistics. Many of the measures used by state and federal government to measure these things are healthcare metrics. Nemaha County is blessed with 2 stellar medical facilities and 2 very good medical staffs, but so are many other communities that are ranked much lower than us. Pottawatomie County got us this year for number 2. Johnson County has always been number 1. They have a few more resources than we have, but number 3 in the state out of the 104 ranked counties. One county didn't get ranked, but out of the 104, number 3 this year, and that's due to what I think is the not just a great population, but really stellar primary care. That's what I chalk it up to. You don't have to go too far away across a county line, not too far from here, to hit the 76th ranked county in Kansas. So it's not just locale. It's not just because we're in Northeast Kansas. It's because we're good. That's why. Yeah. Full scope, full service small hospital becoming rarer and rarer. Of the 84 small hospitals in Kansas, we are in the remaining 10% that does full scope, full service surgery, OB, ER, the whole shoot match. That's becoming rarer and rarer, but that's who we are, and that's who we plan on continuing to be. The surgery department continues to grow. Thank you, Christy. The surgery department growing like crazy, as are many other areas of the hospital. We've outgrown the facility, so not only is it a little older than what we wish it was, we've outgrown this facility and the facility downtown. 9,000 visits. There'll be 1,000 nursing home visits from the primary care providers as well. So as you know, a very busy place down there, and we've outgrown that facility as well. We cannot have all of the physicians and providers working on the same day. We don't have room for them, so we have to make sure that somebody stays home out of that group, or we won't have offices for people to work out of. It's a good problem to have, that we have a lot of providers, but we've certainly run out of space there as well. This is a bird's eye view of the proposed facility, how it sits on the land. You may have heard that the city has agreed to vacate their premises to the south of here. You see that on the bottom portion of this particular picture. But the blue overlay is where the proposed new facility would land. You see the Sabetha Manor off to the left side of that screen, and the Wellness Center on the northeast corner of that. But that's how the proposed facility would lay on this particular property. And I think it really does bring that notion of a consolidated healthcare campus to reality. And that concept has been floated and actually acted upon for years, and the Wellness Center was part of that thought process as well. And I think this continues that idea. This is a 3D concept of what it could look like, where we're sitting in this area here. The old hospital would be on the right side of this, which would be turned into much needed parking, and the front entrance of a new facility would be to the east. So this area here would be, where the parking would be for the main entrance facing east. So a little bit different than what we've had in the past, but that's what we're hoping to do. And the south addition there onto that 2003 building is the Rural Health Clinic on the top floor. On the bottom floor is facilities, administration, etc. Also on the top floor is a very, very busy outpatient clinic managed by Angie Russell and her team, who have outgrown their facilities in this 1910 building as well. And then Brian Vuza's physical therapy department is busting at the seams downstairs here in the old facility as well. So they get hopefully we'll get a really nice physical therapy area in this upper portion of the new facility as well. These plans have been on our website, printed throughout the facility. The staff members throughout the hospital have had input on where doors and walls and desks and outlets and printers and all that kind of stuff should go. So we've had a lot of department meetings with the architects and the engineers and designers to help get us to this particular point. There's an artist's rendition of what that east-facing entrance could look like, might look like. It's a beautiful, beautiful facility. Potentially, we'll keep our fingers crossed. Unfortunately, money is involved. I wish it wasn't. I wish they gave these away. And as you may remember, a long time ago when this was initially proposed, we were hoping to stay below $40 million as an overall budget. And then inflation hit, and interest rates went up, and materials went up. Luckily, we have messed around long enough where we're on the backside of that curve, hopefully, where interest rates have plateaued, maybe even dropped a little bit through the USDA, and materials have also plateaued, maybe even come down in a few other places, but still a very, very expensive project. And last month's budget, just a little over $50 million, not quite 51, but just a little over, just a few nickels over $50 million. And once again, a lot of that is a term that I've learned now is soft cost. It didn't feel very soft when they added $10 million to it, to the overall construction cost, but those are necessary things, obviously, in a big project like this, including interest on loans, design fees, etc. So just certainly a substantial amount of cost, and even things like dirt work for $2 million to move dirt off of the proposed area. So expensive project for sure. But that's where we're currently at as of this month. We've tried to be very good stewards with the money, and or at least with the proposed plan. Not a Taj Mahal by any stretch. No huge waterfalls or anything like that in the facility. Just the space we need to function the way we at least currently are functioning, and hopefully some areas that need expansion that will be in good stead for the next 30, 40 years. Or maybe 100 like this facility here, I don't know. So that's an overview of the project. I certainly love to answer any questions. We have some great team members here today from McCown Gordon, Mike from McCown Gordon, who's the construction company that the hospital board has selected, and our owner's rep, Chris Gartner, is here today as well, who's we hired brains to help us on this project as well, to be the city and hospital's representative, to do the negotiations review of the plans and contracts for us. So just certainly great services provided by those people and many others as well. But I'd love to answer any questions you have about the proposed facility, whether it be design, location, etc. Anybody have any questions? Obviously, we'll be around afterwards to visit as well, but anybody have anything you want to throw out for the greater good? Whew, thank you. Ooh. I don't, seeing none. That's good. That's good. I appreciate it. Obviously, this is public information. There's no secrets to any of this process. We've been trying to be very transparent and open about what we're doing, what we're hoping to do, where the funds are coming from, and the USDA will not loan money to an organization that they don't feel can pay it back. So we have certainly given the USDA every piece of financial information they could ever want. They know what size underwear we wear. They have really done their due diligence. So they feel, after analyzing our finances, that we would be able to pay this money back over the next 35 years, currently where the budget is right now. They feel comfortable loaning us that money, but once again, they do want a commitment for some local skin in the game. They haven't given us a specific number what they want, but typically if people can get anywhere in that 10 to 20% of local involvement, the USDA looks upon that very favorably. So I think we're on the right track there. So, all right. Well, if there's no other questions, we have staff available for some tours of the old facility if people are interested. Several staff, maybe some of you haven't been through the 1910 building or 1927 edition for many years. I know some of you were born in that facility. I delivered my daughter Jordan in the top of this old facility in 1997 when I got here, a month after I arrived. So certainly some sentimental value in this building for me for sure, as it is for a lot of people. That does bring up a point. One of the things that the architect has been guided to do is, in the design process, make sure that we remember who has come before us, and to make sure that we characterize, bring some design features and some specific elements, whether it be bricks or friezes or signs from this old facility, incorporate those into the new facility as well, so that the people who brought us this are certainly not forgotten. So that will be done for sure. All right. Where will the tours begin from?
All right. So we're gonna have 2 or 3 tour guides. 2 of the tour guides are gonna start here. So if you want to split up, one tour is gonna go upstairs, one tour is gonna go upstairs too, actually, and then go down the hall. The next tour is going to start back here by the old laundry room. There's some pretty cool stuff in there with the old boiler, and so I hope you have your tetanus shot.
And the bats don't come out typically until about midnight, so we should be okay there. And there's a lot of food left, so please get some snacks here before you do your tour or head out for sure. So lots of food left. And Reggie, thank you so much. It's great food. Thank you. And with that, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate your support so much, and I look forward to visiting again sometime soon. Thank you.